Let us go back to the date 5th May 1789. 5th May 1789, 2 months before the beginning of the French Revolution. Now, the King Louis XVI decided to impose new taxes on the Third Estate people to overcome the financial crisis. But the problem was that the monarch did not have the power to impose taxes according to his will alone. Rather, he had to call a meeting of the Estate General, which would then pass his proposals for the new taxes. Then, what was Estate General? It was the political body to which three estates sent their representatives. First, second, and third estates sent their representatives. So, on 5th May 1789, Louis XVI called together an assembly of the Estate General. What was the purpose? Yes, the purpose was to pass his proposals for new taxes. Now, where was the meeting held? It was held in the Hall of Versailles. Then, how many members were there? 300 representatives were there from the first estate. 300 representatives were there from the second estate. And 600 representatives were there from the third estate. The first and the second estate representatives were seated in rows facing each other on two sides, while the members of the third estate had to stand at the back. The third estate was represented by its more prosperous and educated members. Now, what was the voting system in the Estate General? Voting in the Estate General in the past had been conducted according to the principle that each estate had one vote. It means first estate had one vote, second estate had one vote, and the third estate had one vote. But what should be the voting system in a democracy? Yes, all the people eligible to vote should be given the right to vote. But that was not there in France. So, the third estate demanded that voting now be conducted by the assembly as a whole, where each member would have one vote. What was their demand? Each member would have one vote. But the king rejected this proposal. When the king rejected this proposal, members of the third estate walked out of the assembly in protest. Then on 20th June, they assembled in the tennis court. They declared themselves as National Assembly and swore not to disperse till they had drafted a constitution for France that would limit the powers of the monarch. This incident came to be known as Tennis Court Oath. So, what was the oath taken by the National Assembly? They swore not to disperse till they had drafted a constitution for France that would limit the powers of the monarch. The leaders of the National Assembly were Mirabeau and Abessias. Mirabeau was a noble, Abessias was a priest. Abessias wrote an influential pamphlet known as What is the Third Estate? Now, we will discuss about the immediate reason which led to the storming of the Bastille on 14th July 1789. We have seen that Third Estate people under the leadership of Mirabeau and Abessias formed the National Assembly and started the framework of the Constitution. While the National Assembly was busy at Versailles for drafting the Constitution, the rest of France was starving because a severe winter resulted in a bad harvest and prices of bread rose rapidly. After spending hours in the long queues at the bakery, crowds of angry women stormed into the shops. To control the situation, the king had commanded the troops to move into the city. Rumors spread that he would soon order the army to open fire upon the citizens. On the background, some 7,000 men and women gathered in front of the town hall and decided to form a people's militia. Finally, a group of several hundred people marched towards the eastern part of the city, Paris, and stormed the fortress prison, the Bastille. This was the outbreak of the French Revolution. Next, about the passing of the decree by the National Assembly on 4th August 1789. Let me ask one question. When did National Assembly form? It was formed on 28 June 1789. What was the oath taken by the National Assembly? They swore not to disperse till they had drafted a constitution for France that would limit the powers of the monarch. And we have seen that the revolution spread from the cities to the rural areas. Feared with the power of the revolting subject, King Louis XVI finally recognized the National Assembly and accepted the principle that his powers now won't be controlled by the Constitution. On 4th August 1789, National Assembly passed a decree. According to this decree, feudal system abolished. Members of the clergy too were lost their privileges. Tithes were also abolished, and the lands under the control of the church was confiscated. For your reference, I have uploaded the URL. Watch the video and come back.